AI is moving at warp speed right now. And honestly, a lot of what we're talking about today are things I'm actually experimenting with. We're going to be diving into several new ChatGPT features, including the new conversation tools. They have a brand new memory update that's happening today, and a few small changes that can make a surprisingly big difference in how you use AI every day. I'll be sharing a simple personalization tweak I'm testing right now, along with some prompting tips that have helped me get better results. And as always, my goal is to show you practical AI shortcuts that actually save me time and help me work smarter. And I want to pass the knowledge on to you. Now, one quick note before we get started, if you've ever wanted to pick my brain about a variety of things. My background's digital marketing, social media, live streaming, community building, and AI, especially AI tools. I do offer one-on-one coaching and consulting. I've been doing this for 30 years, and I just love helping people figure out their next steps. So reach out to me at MadalynSkylar.com if you'd like to chat about that. I'm always trying to make room in my schedule to help others that need it. So I'm going to bring up our guest panelists today, Barb and Rachel. Good to see you both. How are y'all doing?
Good. Glad to be here. I've missed being here and learning everything.
We've missed you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great seeing you, Rachel.
You guys
You always bring a lot to the conversation.
Thank you so much.
And Barb, always great seeing you.
Same here.
I'm loving the jacket. It's like you got this whole thing going on. It looks great.
Yeah, I like it too. She used that last week, although it looks a little different today. Did you do something different, Barb, to your avatar from that? Or is that the exact same? Seems like something's different with it.
I changed the picture in the background.
Oh, cool.
Okay, I love it though. I think it's very cool. Very, very cool.
Agree.
And I'm trying to actually, I got in trouble at Facebook. I'm trying to share Barb's Facebook, and
I got it. I put the new link, but I'll put it here for you to catch it. The one I know, that's what I'm saying. Something's weird. So let me come in.
I connected. Mine's working.
Is it? Oh wait, I see a share button here. Finally. Yeah, I'm in trouble with Facebook. Let me just.
It's all because of you.
It's all because I talk about a botanical supplement that I have legal access to. It doesn't get you high yet. They don't like anybody talking about it on Facebook. Okay, good. So it's on my feed now. I just took Barb's and put it there. It's incredibly frustrating because, these platforms, Facebook and a lot of these social media platforms, they can do whatever they want. They all have their terms of service. TikTok is like this too. There are certain things they don't want people talking about, and they'll be very strict about it. I have had for the botanical supplement, I'm not going to say it out loud because Facebook doesn't like it. I have lost a TikTok and had to start over. I've lost a YouTube channel, had to start over. I'm in Facebook jail right now. I can use Facebook, but they won't let me live stream for a month because they found, and I don't even talk about it on my Facebook hardly ever. And so they're using AI. It's very relevant with our conversation today. They take AI and it just goes to town. It does this to everybody. There are certain words that you're not allowed to be, things you can't talk about. And so they're taking this. I'll just say it out loud. If Facebook doesn't like it, too bad. All I'm doing is sharing your Barbs. I don't think this will matter. But I use a botanical supplement called kratom. It's a plant. And I've been using it every day for 7 years for my chronic pain issues. And it's amazing. So I don't post information about it very often on my personal Facebook, but their AI has found every single one of them. And it started a while back. And so they'll remove, just a handful of these posts they found because it has that one word in the post somewhere. And then they let me know that I can't live stream for a week, and they put some other restrictions on my account. Well, they did it again. And so a few weeks ago, they found a post I did last year when I was on NBC Nightly News. I had NBC Nightly News come to my home and do a story on me a very positive story about me and this plant. And because it showed me what posts I'm in trouble with. And so first of all, they removed all these posts have been removed from Facebook, but they showed me that post. And so that's what got me in trouble this yet again. So it's frustrating that they're not letting me live stream. And I don't even live stream about that on here. I live stream about this. I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur that does lots of different things. The Kratom advocacy is something I do on the side because it's a passion project of mine. So it's interesting how these social media platforms do whatever they want, but they're using AI. TikTok does that too. Like on a TikTok live, they're using AI for real-time transcription. Mm-hmm. I've had my TikTok lives where I'm literally talking and they turn it off.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They've turned it off. I did this one live where I'm just talking about Kratom and I'm talking about my past experience in pain management and the pharmaceuticals. And I'm just on here having a conversation with others, and man, they didn't like that. All of a sudden it turned off. Like I'm in the middle of a sentence and my screen goes black. I eventually get back in and I had all these restrictions on that account. Everybody said, what happened? So it's incredibly frustrating. So that's the thing. Some of these platforms are strict with their terms of service and what you're allowed to talk about, even though this plant is legal for me to use and have access to. And so it's wild how AI has entered the picture. It started last year where a lot of these platforms really ramped up their terms of service because they're using AI to go in and find everything. Mm-hmm. It's a little scary.
It is. They've probably been using it for longer than we know.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. But they've really ramped it up because, it's so obvious to me, so, it is what it is. You got to find ways around it. So when I lost my first TikTok account, I'm like, I'm just going to start a Skool community. I'll set up a new TikTok because you can't beat social media. I always tell people, I've been saying the same thing for decades. Social media is to cast the wide net. You cast the wide net, and that's how you're going to reel in people is social media. But then you want to send them somewhere. Once they're in your, where do you want to send them to? A website, an email list, a community, a membership. So since I've been building online community since the mid-90s, I'm always just trying to let's have a place for everybody, outside of social media where without restrictions. That's why we have our Skool community for AI shortcuts. I also have the Skool community for my Kratom education and advocacy work. And then I have my other one, Video Like a Rock Star, where I help people get confident on camera. And so social media is in the big picture of this. Let's cast a wide net. Let's get people, and then and you can use whatever you want. These days, I just prefer having a community because a community is interactive. An email newsletter is great. I'm not, and I know, I don't want to say anything. I love emails. I've been preaching. Remember Rachel and everybody used to say emails are dead long time ago. Emails are not dead and they're never going to be dead. Having a newsletter is a very smart thing, and utilizing Substack like you do is a great thing to do. I like having a community where there can be just so much interaction, but I'm really impressed how Substack, how you can interact so easily on there.
I was going to ask you if you've tried doing any Kratom talks on Substack. And then the other thought that I had was there was a client that I had who was writing about some difficult topics and felt like they were doing some kind of censoring. So she got in touch with them to talk about the advocacy work that she's doing and through their support. And they ended up working through a lot of stuff. So I kind of feel like maybe, they're going to let people post about Nazis and stuff on their platform. If they're truly free speech, then you should be able to talk about a legal botanical.
Absolutely. So let me tell you what I've done with Substack, because I do like Substack a lot, and I haven't used it as much as I should be for my Madalyn Skylar brand and the AI stuff.
Yeah,
I've done it, here and there. But for my Kratom community, yes, what I did is I went from spending money for years with MailChimp building this, newsletter, an email list for my Kratom advocacy work. I moved it all to Substack a while back. It's been a while now. So my weekly, I was able to so easily get all the emails, export them out, put them in the Substack,
super easy.
and just start from there. And I love the format of Substack. I love how clean and simple newsletters are, and that you get some features, but you don't have to go crazy with it. It's just so simple, and I like how easy to read. I love the font they use. That's been one of my favorite things of Substack. I love the font. It's so easy to read, very pleasing to the eye. So I've been using it for some time now, and you can't beat free. And then here's what's interesting. I'm so glad I switched to this, because there's a Kratom company that sells Kratom online that I'm friends with. And recently, MailChimp said you can't use this platform anymore for your email list, for your business, because you're in the Kratom business. So they said they were with them a long time, and it's not cheap. If you build up an email list on MailChimp or a lot of these other platforms, it's not cheap. And they have to go find a new place to host it. And it's like,
go to
wow.
Go to Substack.
I've had no problems at Substack, and I'm thinking about trying some live over there. I do a live stream every Saturday afternoon. I've been doing it for 2.5 years, but I do it through YouTube, and I like YouTube for it, but I'm doing it through StreamYard. I know Jim has talked to us about setting it up to add Substack. I really should try that.
Have Jim walk us through it. I think that all of us should just do one there just to try it and see what it's like.
We need to have him. You know what? I should set up like a separate live stream for us to just see if Jim will do a session with us on here and just walk us through, and we can try it out. Because I know for Substack, when you set up the destination in StreamYard, you got to do what, the RMPT, is that right? Or RTMP? Like, you got to go. It's not as simple as pressing a button. Like, we're live right now. Right now we're in LinkedIn, my LinkedIn, YouTube, X. We're on Barb's Facebook, and I think YouTube, and then Rachel, we're on your Facebook and X. And all that's because with StreamYard, we all just press a button and like, okay, I want LinkedIn turned on. Well, they make it so easy, but for some of these other ones, not so easy. I mean, it's not super hard, but it's a process. And I know with Substack, I wish it was just one button to turn it on, but I need to try it, because I've had no issues over there with talking about Kratom. And also, just FYI, I mentioned I use Skool, and before I started my Kratom Skool community, I reached out to them. This is about 3 years ago. And I reached out to them and told them, like, hey, I'm a passionate advocate trying to educate people for this plant. And I just put in an email. I just explained what it was. I said, am I allowed to set up a Skool community here where we can talk about it? And they got right back to me and said, yes. As long as you're not selling it, you can have conversations about it. So I immediately set up a Skool community for us. And they didn't have live streaming yet, but they do now. They have live streaming. You can upload videos. You can do a lot. But here's what's interesting. So they have like 2 ways to do live video. You can do a Zoom style, like where everybody, everybody comes in, we're all on screen like a Zoom. And so it's like a casual hangout or whatever you want to do. Or if you're paying the higher tier price as a Skool owner, then you can have the option to do it more like a webinar style, where it's just you on screen and everybody that comes in is muted. They're not on screen, but they're there to watch. You can have guests come be on screen with you. So you have all this flexibility, which we didn't have before. But I like to use Skool live stream specifically for we do a twice a week, just casual Zoom style hangout. Like, just come hang out with us. We're just going to hang out, talk about whatever, and keep it super casual. Whereas I have the specific thing I do for YouTube for the weekly other live stream. But the thing is, it's just like having the tools in front of you and figuring out, like, I could totally live stream it off of there off of Skool too. But it's just not something I want. Like, I have just like very specific, like, I want this to be public so everybody can get it. If I have it in Skool, then only people that are members, even though it's free to join, it's still like, it's figuring out like what's your strategy, what's your overall goals here. I just like that we can do all these things. And Substack adding live streaming was huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. And they just introduced something now called reply rules. So you can go in, like I literally put just stream of consciousness, like be kind, like lead with kindness, be respectful, be honest, no, be adult. No, be funny if you want to, but trolls can stuff it. And that's literally what I put on my reply rules, which will now show up when someone leaves a reply. And if it fits into those things, then it will not be shown, and I'll have the decision to whether unhide it or not. And I think of course, that's AI doing all of that. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that because, X is ridiculous. You put something, I put up, actually, this was on Facebook. I ran $1 a day ad on my latest Facebook. And sometimes, I don't know if you've written a publication post yet, but sometimes when you get these shareable images, they're kind of wonky, right? They're a little like stretched or whatever. And they give you like 12 different shareable images, or you can make your own. And so the one that I chose was stretched a little bit. And I don't really care that much, right? Because it has the title and what it's about and the link, right? That's all I really care about. And I got like 10 comments about how horrible the stretching was. And I was like, yeah, but what did you think about the post? Right. So I think those types of comments are not really helpful for anybody. Like, certainly not for me as the person posting it, for anybody else coming to see it. And they're just making fun of a picture. It's like, just grow up, So it would be nice to have some of those moderation tools kick in on a little bit. They do it on X where it says show probable spam, but that can be someone responding to your comment, and
sometimes it is
spam. Yeah. So I don't trust a lot of these. It makes me a little nervous, but I don't know. That's the way that it's all going.
Yeah, it really is. AI is really taken over everything, everywhere. We got a great question by Gail. Gail, I haven't seen you in ages. Good to have you here. Gail has a great question that is perfect for us to talk about, and then we'll get into some of this ChatGPT stuff I want to share with y'all. Gail says, I'd love to hear a comparison between Skool versus Substack. How do you decide what to do on each platform you're using? So I've been using Skool for years. Like I said, I have 3 different communities, and then Rachel is the queen of Substack. So Rachel, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think it depends on what your goal is. That's what I would always start with. If you want to bring in subscribers, like Madalyn had probably thousands of subscribers that she'd built over years on MailChimp, correct? And then, you're paying $100 a month or something for that. MailChimp is not cheap.
No, they're not.
Even if you go to MailerLite, I think I was paying $50 a month for that. So anyway, you take your existing list and put it into a CSV document format, and then just dump it into your Substack, and they'll upload all of your subscribers. So for me, I feel like if you want to grow subscribers and your posts are indexed by Google and AI search, then Substack is the place for you. If your goal is to be much more community focused, you can also create a community through chat, which is for your subscribers only, but it's not as well organized, I think, as Skool is. So if you have different topics, I think Skool is probably a better option. But I love the email subscriber list, and it's all opt-in, which is required by whoever it is, FCC or whatever. So people have to be able to opt in and opt out. Some people will never subscribe, but they'll go in and read. So that's part of what I love that you do. I get the Skool updates in my email, and so I just usually read them in email. And then click over if I want to read the rest of it. So I like that too. So I think, like I said, for me, if you were my client, I would want to know, what is your goal and how do you want to get there? And then we can decide. And ultimately, I think you can be in both places. I don't think there's a downside to being in more than one place. It's just how much energy you can devote to it.
Rachel?
Yes.
on Substack versus Skool, one of the things that attracted me to Skool was how the classrooms, that feature was set up. We don't have that in Substack, do we?
No, you'd have to use something like the live feature and record it. Yeah, but
because I think both of them, I've been analyzing it since we all got together. I have a Substack account, and you haven't been here enough to really get me motivated to get over there to Substack.
I know.
I set up my account. I'm there, and I turned that over to ChatGPT this week because I'm running out of time. I know it, and there's only so much more left. And I know that Jim resonated with my jacket last week. That jacket is for real. And I'm not going to, it'll be one of the last things I sell, if I sell it at all. But there's so much history in that jacket. It's unbelievable. And, it didn't really, you can't talk about working with spies and federal government, the FBI and the CIA and so forth very openly, in your career. But in my career, and I have loads of business cards and I have loads of history from events in working that. And I thought that would be better for Substack for me because I could control that, right, Madalyn? It's to my subscribers. I'm going to know who's subscribing to it. Yes. So I thought, well, that would be a better way to do it. And that is exactly what ChatGPT advised me to do. And I said, well, what about this Skool? Madalyn got me in Skool.
Well, let me tell you about Skool. Let me tell you an interesting thing with Skool for newsletters. And I don't think everybody realizes that has a Skool community. So first of all, when somebody joins your Skool, whether, you have it set as a free community or a paid community, they got the freemium models. There's all different ways you can set it up. When people join, one of the things they join in your Skool community is their email address. Of course, they have to. So what's so interesting as the Skool owner, you can have one of your posts and one of your community posts go to everybody as an email blast once every 72 hours. I think that's brilliant because you're not spamming, you're not bothering people. That they can turn that feature off if they don't want to, like if you don't want to get those emails from the community owner. It's only the community owner that can do it. And so like I use that for all of my communities. I use that feature depending on what's going on. So like for my Kratom one with our weekly live stream, what I'll do a day or two later is I'll have a post about it. And then I hit this one button that will blast it out via email to everyone. And again, if somebody doesn't want to get that as an email because it's defaulted on, you can go in your settings anytime and adjust all your notification defaults. But if somebody doesn't want to get those every time I'm doing that, then they can turn that off, which is great. But what an awesome way to get a message out. And then like this live stream right now, our weekly AI Shortcuts live that we're doing all over social media, what I'll do with the AI Shortcuts Skool community is after this, I always do a weekly post that just goes over some of our main things. I mostly just copy and paste the YouTube description for this that I'll have later. I do it later afterwards because it's like I want it to be based on everything we talked about. And so I'll take that, put it in the Skool post, hit the button so that can be blasted out to everybody. So because I thought about, okay, I should have a newsletter set up for this AI Shortcuts community. And what I opted to do instead, and Gail, you might find this interesting. So because I have the Skool community, then I do that. I press the button so everybody gets, the email of that. They'll get, it's in the Skool community, so people can just see it in there. But I want that particular post to go to everyone. And then I have Substack. Now, I don't have like some big strategy with this, but what I do is from time to time, I'm not using it as often as I should, but I do have people that have subscribed to it. And from time to time, I'll put out something as an email, usually like something I've learned, some cool AI tip, and I'll do that. And I'll do a post that's like a social media feed. There's a lot you can do with these platforms. It's great having a way to stay connected with your community, to be able to send them an email. Another cool feature was with Skool, and then we'll move on because I want to show you all some cool AI stuff, is as the community owner at Skool, you can have very much like a Facebook group where you can have 3 customized questions. When people join, you can have these 3 questions, exactly like a Facebook group when you're the owner of a Facebook group. So you can have one of those questions be asking for their email address, even though Skool collects it, and you can do that once every up to 72 hours email blast post through your community. If you actually want the email addresses, you have to have it as one of your questions as one of those 3, and then you can download them and use them however you want. So I think it's nice that we have that flexibility to utilize emails. The key is to not go crazy with that and not spam people. People, I mean, do y'all still get emails from people for things you did not opt into? It's not as bad as it used to be. Boy, that's been going on for so long, but it's not as bad as it once was.
Right. It's getting better. I like that approach, Madalyn. I think that's very good, but I think you need both. I think at this stage, in the research that I've done since I've known both of you gals, is that really, I mean, for the amount that you spend per month, did I miss something, or am I paying for Substack? I'm not, am I?
Substack's free. That's the beauty of it. Substack is free.
Okay, so that's something to talk about, because we all know that they've got to make their money. How do they make it?
Well, they make it by when we turn on paid subscriptions.
They get
they're keeping a.
They take 10%. Yeah, sorry, my video.
Oh, okay, so my video's being weird. They're counting on us to be productive, because obviously we're their salespeople, and so if our subscriptions are enlarged, they get more money, and we do too, of course.
Yes,
but and they're saying, okay, we'll take care of you. You're our top salespeople. We're going to make sure our platform runs properly for you.
And this is interesting. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Barb.
That's okay.
This is interesting as well, and then I'll let you get to your ChatGPT stuff.
Yeah.
I just learned this a month ago. If you haven't turned on paid tiers, you won't rank on a leaderboard. So
really?
Yes. So if you turn on paid tiers, you don't have to offer a bunch of stuff. Like, I just have it almost as like a tipping system. If you want to support me with a paid script, great. If you don't, here's a tip jar, like buy me a coffee. And otherwise, everything's free anyway. But that's how I set it up, because I don't want to paywall my content. So for me, that's the way to do it. But I love that that is an option.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, let's get into the AI stuff. I see OpenAI did a tweet of something I'm going to be talking about today, but they have more information, so that's good. So, but first, before I jump into ChatGPT stuff, I mean, I come here and share stuff that I'm learning, that I'm figuring out, and I spend my time in ChatGPT. We've had the discussions here. I like Claude. I use Claude from time to time, but I've been using ChatGPT primarily for such a long time, and the memory is so good, like it knows everything. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about in just a bit, is that they've upgraded the memory even more. And I'm thinking, how can it be any better? It's already awesome for me. So super excited to see what that's all about. But one of the things I'm going to be learning this week, and hopefully I'll have enough information to report back to everybody next week, is I'm taking a class, Arlen Hamilton, one of my favorite people that I learn a variety of things from in business, whether it's sales, marketing, and she's just all in on vibe coding. And so she's doing what she's calling her lovable hackathon this week, is yesterday and today. And I haven't been able to make it live, but I just started the replay from yesterday's. But she's trying to show people how to use Lovable, which there's these 2 very popular vibe coding tools that really just shot up last year, Replit and Lovable. And I played a little bit with both, but I really want to learn from this class with Lovable, because this whole vibe coding thing, even though I started off as an entrepreneur in the 90s as a web designer, but web designing in the 90s was very different. You literally typed in HTML, very simple code. You did it off the top of your head in Notepad. Like there were no programs, there was nothing to help you. You had to learn how to code, and then you use something like Notepad on your computer. And that's how I got started with that. But I like how these days with vibe coding, you literally can just tell it what you want and it creates it right in front of you. And it's pretty amazing. I know Claude has all of that now too. We're just hearing so many tools that have this. But I've been wanting to play with Lovable because I want to use the one that I think I'm going to like the most. And I always tell people, find the tools that fit your needs. Somebody here watching this might say, you know what, I like Replit. I've been doing that, or I've been using, this new feature in Claude. Find what works for you. I'm going to just try out Lovable and build this. And what I've been wanting to build for some time now is a MadalynSkylar.com website, just like a real plain, it'll probably just be a one-pager, because right now I just have my domain name pointing to my Linktree, and actually Linktree is great because it has everything that I want to have out there right now. But I want to try to focus a little bit more of my time back into coaching consulting because it's something I love doing. And I know I need a website for that where people can just, which I've done in the past, but life happens and then we kind of do different things. And so I'm kind of coming back around to like, okay, I need to go back to having a web page. So I want to use Lovable to easily create. And this is something like when you use a tool like that, you can literally do it in like an hour, something simple. I'm going to play around with that and I'll report back to y'all. Hopefully by next week, I would have spend enough time playing with this and we'll actually have something to show y'all with it. I just wanted to let y'all know that is something I am. If anybody here, if you're in the comments in the chat, watching replay or here live, if I'm definitely interested to hear if people's experience with Lovable, because that is one of the popular ones. All right, y'all, there is so much ChatGPT stuff going on. I'm just blown away about how I didn't really think I was going to have a whole lot for us to talk about today, because I just haven't seen a whole lot going on with the AI stuff. And so I'm just like, well, what all are we going to talk about today? And there's actually quite a bit of like some smaller features, not a bunch of huge things, but just these smaller different things I've seen, and it's making a difference, at least for me. So that's why I want to pass it along to you, starting with OpenAI with ChatGPT. This is something that just literally popped up today on their release notes, which is their memory is going to be more up to date. So they've upgraded the memory, so you will get better context, that it'll better keep your context up to date, helping responses stay more relevant. I don't know about you all, but in the past, up until a few months ago, ChatGPT for me would be like, it would sometimes remember things, but not always. You could go into the memory and, check it to see what it has, and you can delete stuff. But I noticed several months ago, all of a sudden the memory was way better for me. I do have a Plus account. I do pay $20 a month. And they did release a while back that they had made some upgrades to the memory. But now today they're saying that it's even better. It says it's going to help better understand your preferences, goals, and ongoing work. You can review your memories that ChatGPT may use to personalize responses through sources or in your memory summary. And they're now updated automatically with ChatGPT keeping track of all the details that it thinks are like the most important. So it can like really help you with your context. And it says if you don't like it, it says if you prefer to right here, it says if you prefer to revert to the legacy saved memory system, go to settings, memory, and save memory. So that's good to know. So this is rolling out today to Plus and Pro users in the US. So if you're doing the $20 a month Plus plan, then you should see this. But again, my memory is great on ChatGPT. So I don't know if anything's changed yet today because it says it's rolling out today. I'll let y'all know if I notice anything different. And it says to access this on iOS or Android, be sure to update your ChatGPT app to the latest version. I did check the App Store for my iPhone, and it already showed it was updated as of yesterday. And it says they're going to expand this to free and go plans in additional countries over the next few weeks. So everybody's going to get this, but for now, they're saying that this is going to be for the Plus and Pro. I'm curious to see like what exactly is going to change here, because I like I said, I mean, this ChatGPT memory has been amazing for me for months. It remembers everything. I was always focusing like on projects. So like if I'm going to talk about something, I want to go into a project I've built that has like sources and where I always talk about something. It's told me in the past, like that's where it will remember things better, is when you stay in the projects. And when these changes happened a while back with the memory, at least for me on a Plus account, I can be anywhere in ChatGPT, and it's remembering what we just talked about in a whole different conversation in a different project. Has anybody run into that or have noticed anything with your memory inside of ChatGPT?
You might need to repeat that again for me. I use it every day. I noticed, like I said, I had these projects in the last 2 days that I went in, and particularly this morning, what I was sharing with you before we went live. I know, thank you for alerting me to that, because that makes all the sense in the world about just how it narrowed it down and did it so much faster. So that's exciting.
So you're noticing the memories?
Oh yeah, because and I thought, well, is it me or is it going? But I had tons of things to do, but and it actually, I overloaded it on 2 days ago, and it actually it produced something that, I mean, I literally put in the chat, "You've got to be kidding me! You can do better than that." I said, "Are you getting tired, or is the system overloaded?" And it actually gave me a response. It said, "Just there are so many requests coming in, and I'm losing place," or something like that. I kept it because I thought it was pretty hilarious.
That's so funny. I did want to share. I have a client where we take the photos that we're using, whatever the reference photo is, make it black and white with a pop of red. Okay, so that's his thing, and it looks really great. So I went into chat to add the pop of red, because I mean, I could do Photoshop, but it's more time consuming. So I just threw it in there, and it made half of someone's coat a block of red. And I was like, no, let's try this again. And I kept trying to give it feedback, and it kept just like fritzing out and making weird stuff. So ultimately, I just closed it out, started it again, started a whole new chat, and then it did exactly what I wanted.
Oh, good. Yeah, and it's not going to always be perfect anyway. So like there are times where that happens.
Yeah.
It's just interesting that they're saying today they're trying to make it better. I mean, this tweet, y'all, just literally came out less than 2 hours ago.
That's amazing.
And it says, we've been researching new ways for ChatGPT memory to carry context across conversations and keep it useful over time. So again, I've already seen that, maybe because I've been on this Plus account. Maybe they gave some Plus users this ability while they were still working it out. I'm just really curious, is it going to be a big change since they're announcing today that it's even better? And then let me show, because they did like a whole thread here. We're building ChatGPT, because let me tell y'all, I can be all over the place in ChatGPT now. Like I have lots of project folders. I try to keep things grouped together, but I can literally just start with a new chat and have a discussion, and it's going to remember things from wherever in there. And I'm super impressed. So it says we're building ChatGPT to remember what matters, follow your preferences and constraints. Whoops. And get back in here. Okay. I'm not sure what happened. Follow your preferences and constraints and adapt as things change. If you tell ChatGPT you're planning a trip in July, memory should understand when the trip is upcoming, happening, and already over. Now that's going to be great. That's been an issue. Is like it trying to remember like dates or a place and time. So that's interesting right there. And that ChatGPT keeps giving relevant answers as context changes. I'm seeing that. And then let's come over here to this one. With the new memory system, you can review and steer what ChatGPT remembers through a memory summary with more visibility and control over how context is used. So let me. That music's a bit much. Interesting. A memory summary. Okay, that looks pretty cool. What are y'all thinking with all of this?
I like it. I mean, I didn't really want to change because overall what I've done has been done very well. And the fact that I started back in 2023 and I had that when it was introduced, and I'd come back here and I had all this stuff in my attic and all this stuff that I was talking about career-wise. And I thought, I started creating stories about how it all happened in 2023 because I had developed, a prompt that would do the chapters and it wouldn't do a lot of pages, I'm saying, but it did a lot at that time. And then as the ChatGPT was upgraded, I would go back to that same one and ask it if I could, because the memory was there, if I could, how we could improve upon it. And it did. So, I mean, having that legacy to be able to call on and not being, I got to go to this place to grab it and bring it back over here and that kind of thing. It takes a lot of time to do that.
It does. Exactly. So I got more little things like this that updates and just little things that can just help save time or make things easier. And as a reminder for everyone here, I'll have all these things I'm showing you. I'll have links to them in my YouTube description, my @Madalyn Skylar. If you go to YouTube, go to Madalyn Skylar, my full name. And let me do it like this. If anybody didn't know my name, just @Madalyn Skylar. That's my handle everywhere online. So go there on my YouTube later today. And in the description, I'll have the links to everything I'm showing you all in case you want to go back and look. Now, here's the next one that I came across. So this is so interesting. When I saw this tweet last week, I literally had just noticed it in ChatGPT, and then this comes up, and this is so interesting. It says, for every ChatGPT conversation that started as one quick thing, and trust me, I have tons of those. I just got one quick thing I want to talk about, and then it turns into this big, huge thing, right? So what is done for your larger discussions, it gives you a table of contents. And let me show you this because this is really cool. I'm going to play it. It's just a small little 14-second video. So you'll see now on desktop on the far right, see those little lines, and it gives you like the different parts through that long conversation. So you can find, and this happens to me all the time. I don't know why they're using this example with the bugs, and mine is just all text, but it's so incredibly helpful. Do y'all ever run into that where you end up with this really big chat and it's like, wait a minute, somewhere way up there was that I talked about what I just do is I just ask it. I say, wait, tell me what the thing we were talking about before about like whatever specific thing. Cause it's like, oh, table of contents, this will make life easier. So I think this is a great feature.
Yes, I agree.
I'm excited about this one. So yeah, this is a X account I just started following. It's ChatGPT app. And so this one is where they show all these cool things like this, just these little, I've got some others I'll be showing y'all, but this is where I see all these different little small features. They post them in there. So that was a good find as well. Next up, I want to play an interesting short TikTok video I came across, and this is something I've been playing. There's the whole personalization. Y'all know that you can go into your settings, whether you're on ChatGPT on your phone or on your computer. You click on your name at the bottom and that'll take you to your settings. And one of them is called personalization. And for anybody that hasn't gone through that before on your account, whether you're on a free account or a paid account, be sure to go in there, because there's all these little things you can tweak and adjust, and they keep making changes. There's so many things in there now. And for personalization, you can give it very specific parameters. You can put some kind of prompt in there, like y'all remember the whole M dash thing, right? And it's like, no more M dashes. Put that in there and it'll stop doing the M dashes. You can have it, you tell it just what you want as far as personalizing your chat. So I'm going to show you, I was watching this short video I'm going to play for y'all, and it was talking about something I thought was so interesting as something that's something I wanted to add to my personalization. So I actually just kind of redid all that today, and I can't wait to see, but I wanted to share this with y'all because it's really cool, and I'll report back soon, like, what is this really helping? Is this working? But I think it'll make sense if I just play this video first so y'all can see because this is really, really interesting. So let me turn that.
Most people don't know it, but ChatGPT is lying to you up to 50% of the time. And if you want to learn how to fix it, here's what you need to do. Step number 1 is pulling up your ChatGPT. Step number 2 is coming over here into personalization. Then step number 3 is adding in a custom instruction. Every time you reply to me, at the bottom of your response, tell me what your accuracy level is so I can know whether or not you're potentially lying. Now we could ask a question like, what is the performance of the S&P 500 over the last 10 years? And now this actually goes through and tells me the accuracy level and why. Now, if you want to get better results from ChatGPT, make sure you're following.
I thought that was so cool.
Really smart.
To have it just give you an accuracy level and then cite any sources. I'm like, that's an excellent idea. So I was like, okay, I got to play around with that. Now, he showed his prompt being, every time you reply to me, tell me at the bottom of your response what your accuracy level is. I want to know when you're accurate and when you're potentially lying to me. Now, at first I put that in and I thought, well, let me talk to ChatGPT about this because I have my personalization. I'm going to actually show you all that because I want to make sure everybody knows how to get to this. And it's very simple and easy to do. But what I did is I already have my custom prompt in there for like my personalization that applies to me. And I wanted to figure out a way to add this in there. And actually, you know what? let me show this first. I did make a post over in our Skool community because I wanted I put in my entire prompt so that way I could share it. Rachel, we can hear you typing, FYI.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Let me first show, because I want y'all to see this first.
I'm following along as you do it in my own chat.
Are you? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Sorry.
Okay, so we're over on Skool, AI shortcuts to work smarter. Let me put the link up here. If anybody that's not in there is free to join, I'll just do the ticker here. AI shortcuts to work smarter. Just go to my bit.ly. You can either just go into skool.com, type in AI shortcuts to work smarter, or use my bit.ly link at Madalyn Skool. Okay, so we're in here, and if you want the prompt I'm going to show you that I adjusted, that's also in addition to my entire prompt, come in here, and I just added this earlier, a simple ChatGPT personalization tweak I'm experimenting with. So, we just watched the video. I talk about how I came across that video, and I wanted to try that. And I've been playing around with it. It's really cool now that I have that at the bottom of every one of my chats. It's going to give me that accuracy rating. So I already have my personalized prompt, and then so I have it here, and I'm just telling people you can see how I'm doing it. You can copy this if you want. You can adjust it however you want. What I've done is this is basically me adapting what other people, because over the last few years, I see people sharing, like what we saw in that video, with different personalized prompts for their chat. So I just, over the years, been taking ideas from other people and adapted it into my own version. So you might look at this and go, oh, I like this, but I can tweak this to make it more for me or whatever. But the part that I added for the accuracy level is right here, the last two parts here. At the end of every word. So this was reworking what he said into my version, which is at the end of every response, include a brief accuracy level section, state high, medium, or low confidence. Explain any meaningful uncertainty in 1 to 2 sentences and include sources when applicable. And then keep the accuracy level section concise. Because at first it was giving me like this long thing. I'm like, no. I just want it simple and just, because I don't even know if I'm going to like this. Like, it's cool watching that guy's video. I'm like, this is kind of cool, but I might not like, I don't know. I just want to see if that's something I'm really going to like. So let me show you all how to get to this in ChatGPT if you want to at least look to see how you have it set up and how to actually go in and personalize it. So let me pull up my screen here. So we're in ChatGPT on my desktop computer live right now. So at the bottom left, and you can do this on your phone, but you want to click where your name is, right? So you click here and you'll see one of the options is personalization. So click on that. And as I mentioned before, you got all these things you can do. So be sure to go look so at least you know all these different options you have. And right here where it says custom instructions, this is where that prompt is. I was just showing. So my entire prompt that I have in here is what I just posted in Skool that I just showed you all. And I tweak it from time to time, but currently this is what I'm using, which is write in a professional but conversational tone, like talking to a smart friend, be clear, direct, and natural, avoid buzzwords, corporate language, and press release style writing, never use em-dashes. If you're unsure about something, say so instead of guessing. Distinguish between facts, assumptions, estimates, and opinions. Do not automatically agree with me. Chat likes to agree with me a lot. So do not automatically agree with me. Point out flaws in reasoning, missing information, bias, or weak assumptions when relevant. Do not add unsolicited suggestions or recommendations. It likes to do that a lot too. And then the part I already read to y'all, at the end of every response, include an accuracy level. So this is my current version as of this morning. And like I said, I tweak it from time to time. So over in Skool, I have it all there. Feel free. So if you're not in Skool, click on the link right here. It's on the ticker. Come join us. It's free for everybody. But this is my thing I'm going to play with for about a week or so and see what I think, and I might adjust it. But I like this accuracy thing. That guy's video got me thinking. I'm like, what a great idea. So y'all going to try that too? I think Rachel
did it while you were.
I was just going to say, Rachel's actually doing it while
I'm doing it, man.
I love it.
And then you just click save. It's so easy.
Oh, it's so simple and easy. But it's just good to know that we have so many options. What I would recommend everybody do is go over to Skool, copy and paste mine, and then put it into ChatGPT or Claude or whatever your favorite LLM is, and say, "Here's my friend's personalization prompt. Let's help me create one for me, but use this for ideas." And if you want to try the accuracy level thing, just copy it, or, like I said, I took what he said in that TikTok. I took a screenshot. This is what I'll typically do, because he didn't copy and paste it anywhere in his video. So I took a screenshot, and then there's a couple of things you can do. I just jotted it down or typed it in. That's how I did it. I screenshot it on my phone, and I just looked at my phone and typed it into my computer. But another cool thing you can do, and I've done this many times, I'll take a screenshot, put it in the ChatGPT, and say, can you just take this and use this, or give me, put this into text so I can copy and paste or whatever. But I didn't do that for this, because when I took the screenshot, the play button was right in the middle of his words. So I took a screenshot, and then I just typed it out, and I had to kind of look at the video a few times and make sure I got the right order, because a couple of words were blocked by the play button on TikTok. But I just always look at these little things like, let me tweak this and see. So I don't know 100% sure if I'm going to like having that accuracy reading on there, but it looks cool. I don't know. I'll let y'all know. And I'm curious to see what you all think of it too. So you all be sure to report back. And I love, Rachel, that you're just like, I'm just going to do this in real time. I love it. I got another cool little thing I came across on that ChatGPT app Twitter account. So this post went out recently that says, here's some recent updates. So let me show you this. For flight and package tracking, and right here is just showing, I know, yeah, trying to get it bigger. All they put in as a prompt was Delta 5306 arrival status. That's all the prompt is. And then look at what it gives you. It gives you all this flight information. That's pretty cool. I'm going to have to play around with that because that's way easier than, hopping on the Google and having to type a bunch of info.
That one looks real interesting.
Yeah. This next one says model picker update. Make it easier to choose the right intelligence. And so when you click on thinking, it gives you light, standard, extended, or heavy. Well, that's pretty interesting. And then this next one, more visual answers. Free users will get more images in more of their answers. Now, I've been on the Plus account for a long time, so I didn't know that people on the free account weren't getting as many images in their answers, so that's good to know. Fast answers, when you just want the right answer as quickly as possible. And so what is that going to be? It's the instant. So if you, let's see if I can stop it. Okay. So right here, you can see I know it's small on the screen. They're using instant in the prompts here. So that's, if you want like super fast, that's tiny on the page. Let's see what else they got. Expandable messages. Long prompts can now be collapsed to keep chats tidy. So I noticed that about a month ago. So I've had that a while. I don't think these are all necessarily brand new features. They just did this Twitter thread to show like, here's some cool features you may not be aware of. So I like that when you've got these longer prompts you're putting in, it'll do that, which makes it a lot easier when you're like scrolling down on your page. So that's been cool. File library for all. Free and Go users can now store and reuse files in ChatGPT. So on your left sidebar, there's now this library section. I've had it on my Plus account for a while, but it's good to know that free users also have that. It's a great feature. And it just ends with saying that they're constantly working to make it better. So interesting, cool, little small things that you might not be aware of that I wanted to share on that one. And I got another one that's really cool. I haven't played with it yet. Again, since I started following this Twitter account, they got really interesting things that they've been sharing. So let me show you all a super cool feature. Okay, so this one says paperwork is better when you can just talk through it. With images in ChatGPT and voice mode, you can upload a form, say what to fill in, and get back a completed version. I was
wow.
What? So let me play this little video because it's like, whoa. And I haven't heard anything about this. So I'm so glad I found this Twitter channel because this is interesting. This is super interesting. Let me take that off the screen there. Okay, so let me play this short video. It's like a minute long.
Hey, can you give me back this exact same form, but with all the fields filled in? I'll just tell you the info. My name is John Smith. My birthday is January 2nd, 1991. Phone number is 1-800-242-8478. Address is 242 Chatty Way, San Francisco. Email address is chatster3000@gmail. My occupation, I just say full-time dog dad. Emergency contacts my wife, Jane Smith, with the same phone number. And I want to get an annual membership. My fitness goals are really just getting jacked AF. I have no existing medical conditions. And I heard about you through ChatGPT. My preferred start date is June 1st, probably. And yeah, just leave the signature part blank so I can do that.
Wow, look at that. That is pretty darn cool. Like I said, I haven't played with it yet, but I had no idea
That definitely.
that was something.
Yeah.
And wait, also, you know what? I forgot there's a thread here. Here's the next tweet. So you can do this without voice too. Upload a form image, add details you want included, and ChatGPT can fill it out for you. So he was showing how, on ChatGPT, you can press a little microphone button, and that's their native voice to text. Now, what I always do when I'm doing anything that's voice to text, I'm using WhisperFlow. But I like that example he showed because that was super cool. But then they're also saying you can just type it in, that's super cool, super interesting. Had no idea we could do this. So I want to make sure you all were aware of that. And I think there was one more thing I want to show y'all. I can't believe we're right at the top of the hour. This went fast, but there was one more that they shared. Get up on screen here. So this one says, long form writing works better with a little more space. Now you can edit longer pieces in full screen and save them to your library to come back later. So let me make this a little bit bigger. So when you're prompting, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out what it all exactly is trying to do here. I love that. So, okay. Does everybody here know about Canvas when you're in ChatGPT? Canvas is this is something that does not get talked about enough. So, when you're writing something out and you want to be able to edit it, the way I do this is I tell it to put it in Canvas. Canvas is like this feature that just doesn't get talked about. I don't always think to start in Canvas because a lot of times I'm brainstorming or just talking out something. But then let's say, okay, it gives me something that I want to be able to edit. So something like what we're seeing here on the screen, I'll just say, I know there's like a plus button in the chat. I think you can just click on Canvas. But I found out a while back, you can just tell it, like, put this in Canvas. So I'll be like going through something, I'll say, oh, give me something. I'm like, oh, I want to do some edits. But you saw that it can help you with the edits. So you say, put this in Canvas. It'll now put that. So that's what we're seeing here. And then when you're in Canvas, if you're updating something, like I know it should, So when you come in, I change something, it'll give you like what it thinks. Cause I'll say something like, no, make it sound more like this or whatever. And then this pops up and it'll show you like, well, here's what it changed, and you can accept or undo, which I thought so interesting, such a time saver. I'm trying to understand, like, what exactly. That's just part. That's a feature we've already had, but this one is talking about more space. So I'm not quite sure exactly. Long form writing works better with a little more space. So interesting. Lots of little things going on the platform. Something to know about. But that Canvas feature, very cool. The next time you're in ChatGPT and you're working on something and you want to edit, just say, open this in Canvas.
That's interesting.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool, interesting features on the platform that we just don't hear about. I need to make like a little video walking people through how to do it's just that we're already over. I need to go, but so much, there's always so much to talk about. There's so much. And you know what? I missed that Gil did this comment when we were looking at the personalization back when we were doing that. She said, give it examples of your writing or maybe audio and have it write it in your voice instead of describing a voice style. That's a great idea.
Oh, I want to ask you something and reading that, if I gave it a sample of my handwriting, does it write something out in that? I never thought, how I can just write it on my notepad. Would it write it in my writing? Oh, it's spooky. Because then that's a signature thing too. I'm going to try and figure something out to see if I can't test it anyway.
Yeah.
But that is something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know. So be sure to join us on Skool where we can.
Video, we can't do in here that well at this point, right?
For what?
I haven't. we can't do video in here, can we? I can't remember. I have other tools, so I haven't done video in here. I've done
in Skool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not in Skool. In
where?
With ChatGPT.
Like add a video to Skool?
No.
What are you trying to say?
Just erase it. We're out of time today.
Okay.
I'll check it out. It's not that big of a deal, and we can cover it next time if if it's worthy. So,
yeah. Well, tell me exactly what is it you're trying to do? Just real quickly.
You can't. We have to use another an AI product to create videos with AI. Chat doesn't include video.
Oh yeah, chat doesn't make, like you're saying, to actually make a video.
That you get sent out to other destinations for.
Yeah, you're talking about like it creating a video.
Yeah, because I have other AI. Sometimes if you have so much, it gets so friggin' confusing.
Well, that's where I use Magi. So Magi, the all-in-one AI tool, is everything. So if I wanted, so you're saying if like you wanted to create a video?
Yeah, from that.
Yeah. So I use Magi for that. My absolute favorite all-in-one tool. So with Magi, you can, we just don't have time, but in Magi, you have the ability to use so many different LLMs and image generators and video generators. So I could go into that, start a chat, and I could choose, I'll just pull this up real quick so I can, hold on. Let me add my screen real quick and I'll show you, because they've got all that on there that you can, so whenever I want to do that, I use Magi for it. Because for my $20 a month, I'm paying with that. See, my perfect setup is $20 a month for ChatGPT and then $20 a month for Magi, and I've got everything I could possibly need. So with Magi, let me pull this up on the screen. So I'm in a Magi, I just hit new chat. Let me show you what my choices are. Yeah. All of this, so much. All right. So
and
if I
don't have to pay for additional tokens with that.
Well, it's going to use, like it shows you what the usage is. And of course, the higher the number, the faster you burn through it. So like, I know Kling is real popular for video right here, Kling video. And that's a 4X, which just means that, if I use this quite a bit, then I'm going to burn. It even tells you, heads up, the selected model consumes monthly usage faster than most. But I can come in here and type in a prompt to create an AI video, and I can choose a ratio. I can choose which version of Kling, and it shows you what the usage multiplier is for each one of these. If I want audio, I guess you click audio. I'm not a huge fan of AI generated videos, but I played with this in here, and it's super interesting that you can do all this. So when I want to do anything other than ChatGPT, then I'll come over here. Like earlier, I wanted to do something Claude. So I like Claude Sonnet 4.6. So I can just come in here and I'm using Claude, even though I'm doing this inside of Magi.
Not as a member of that platform.
Right. I mean, I have a free Claude account, but I have Magi. Magi gives you the pro version of everything. The only thing you're not getting in Magi is you're not getting some of the native features these platforms have. So like ChatGPT has the advanced voice mode. It has the project folders, the tasks feature. It has a lot of things, and not all of that is going to work the same over here. But if I want the flexibility, I mean, look, Grok image video. So you can do a Grok image video. I didn't know Grok had that, but there's all these different versions of Grok. So I imagine the most current one is probably Grok 4.3. So I can come in here and use Grok. And I love using this when I want to try different LLMs in a chat to see, because there'll be different versions. I did a demo of that recently here, where I did like one prompt and I showed y'all, okay, here's what Claude says, here's what ChatGPT says, here's what I did Gemini. And so, yeah, I like it for stuff like that because you get all that flexibility in here.
Yeah.
Which is great. So, but do you have Magi? I forgot.
No, I haven't gotten Magi because I mean I've just looked at. You can just get everything, and then you get nothing done, and
Right.
the bill, and I just
Right.
said that does it. I'm
Yeah.
not doing this anymore. And because so many of my friends are developers, I want to support everybody, but you just can't. I mean, that's kind of the thing back in the days of Kickstarter, and what is the other one that we were all connected to during that time frame? Trying to think what it was, but you supporting your fellow creators. I try, and it just
Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon. Right, we were on Patreon because we were told about that.
Yep.
But I have to just clean the slate and get something done because it's not happening, and the clock is ticking away.
Well, what I always tell people, it just always goes back to what are your needs? And if you want something where you have the flexibility of everything, then Magi is perfect. If you like some of the specific features in Claude, then the $20 a month Claude. And, I thought about doing that. I just don't want to have so many subscriptions. And like you say, Barb, then you're using all your time on this. So
instead, I invested in developers. Now, like I do AI video, and I have a lifetime subscription because I was one of the investors way back at 23. And so now, like the new people, they don't get in for the same price or anything, and they pay, tokens and that, and I don't have to. But I helped in developing the product.
Right.
And so that worked. But I really, ChatGPT to me is the number one go-to, and working as it has evolved, it literally is that familiar enough. It talks to me at a level, I mean, my mother never listened that closely, and certainly my husband never listened. He's over there with his mouth dropped open. No, don't you say anything.
I figured he was nearby the way you were saying that. That's hilarious. Well, this is always a great chat with everybody. Thank you for all the people here watching live. We got a lot of people on X watching. So we'll be back next Thursday to do it again. Come join us over on our Skool community where we, keep these discussions going. If you're not over there, come join us at AI Shortcuts to Work Smarter. I also have a bit.ly link, bit.ly/Madalyn Skool. And we will see y'all next week. And hopefully by next week, I would have really had a nice little venture into Lovable, and we'll report back. And I want to hear what y'all think of these features we talked about today that you tried. See how that goes for y'all. Yeah. Okay. And Rachel, I'm so glad. I don't know if you can chat. I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, my picture got frozen. I don't know why. So I just left it off.
Did Pip do something?
No, I kicked him out.
Okay. It's like
I want to get.
Yeah. It's too bad we didn't get to see Pip's face. Pip just loves being here with us.
Excuse me, he does, but for whatever reason, I know my daughter's home till later, and so he will probably want to hang out.
It's just so cool to have a cat that likes to hang out with us and likes to watch us on the screen.
It's great. He's my buddy. We call him the Uber kitty because if I go upstairs, he comes upstairs and he waits for me. And then he walks me back down and puts me in my office chair. It's really cute.
That is awesome. I love it.
My little protector.
Very cool.
All 9 pounds of him.
Well, it was great hanging out with you ladies today. Thanks for being here, and thanks for those watching.
Thank
and we'll
you.
see you all next Thursday to do this again.
All right.